One of the most interesting story elements in my eyes is the view of history and how its events influenced those of the present. Going back to Final Fantasy X, the Machina War was a very significant event that resulted in the creation of Sin, the most powerful being in Spira, and its subsequent reign of terror amongst its citizens in the next millennia. The same can be said with other lore. When we explore other worlds, there are events in their histories that heavily influence current events. We take this little break to announce that if you are enjoying my work and videos, please leave a like, as it would help spread the content to more Final Fantasy fans out there, as well as subscribing to the channel and turning on post notifications so you know when a new video is out. I also stream on YouTube on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 9 PM PST. I will have scheduled streams posted shortly after I stream so you know when the next one will occur in case any changes are made. Let's continue. For example, in the world of Skyrim, the war between the three heroes of Sovngarde with Alduin, more specifically, their failure to truly vanquish Alduin and instead trap him in an Elder Scroll which serves as something of a time machine, serves as a significant event and a reason why Alduin ran amok on Skyrim during the events of the game. Going at a much grander scale, an event in the Witcher universe known as the Conjunction of the Spheres led to the introduction of various monsters and magic into the world, leading to the environment surrounding Geralt during the events of The Witcher. If you have not played Witcher 3, I highly recommend it as it is an incredible game. Final Fantasy XII is no different, with one of the most legendary stories in Ivalice's lore is the tale of King Raithwall, the first Dynast king of Ivalice. This has been referenced a few times throughout the story, as his achievements serve as the primary goal for the Princess Ashe and the party as they seek the relics left behind by him to reclaim the throne of Dalmasca. On the other hand, the Kingdom of Arcadia also has interest in these stones, especially with Dr. Cid, who seeks these stones to improve the technology of its military advancements in their war against Rosaria and to assert dominance in Ivalice. How do these stories intertwine, and how does the influence of this one man drive the events of the entire timeline of Ivalice? That is what we will cover in today's lore as we go through the tale of King Raithwall. King Raithwall was a hume that lived a century before the events of Final Fantasy XII. Born of immense power and as king, he ruled around the time where Ivalice was in a state of turmoil, with many kingdoms caught in a power struggle. The Ocuria, not wanting to see Ivalice fall into a state of war, appointed King Raithwall as Dynast king in order to prevent this from occurring. Based on the societal standards of Ivalice, when one is a ruler of a kingdom, they are said to have great power. However, when they are appointed as Dynast king by the Ocuria, they are said to possess even greater power. This is enforced by gifts granted by the Ocuria themselves to whoever they appoint as the Dynast king, especially the gift of Nethicite, which we have seen is capable of great and destructive power if used. So when King Raithwall was chosen as the first Dynast king of the Ocuria, he was given the Sword of Kings, which was used to cut 3 shards from the Suncrist: the Dusk, the Dawn, and the Midlight shards. The Midlight shard was given to the ancestors of House Nabradia, which are the ancestors of Prince Rassler. The Dusk shard was given to House Dalmasca, who are the ancestors of Princess Ashe, while he kept the Dawn shard and took it with him when he died, and buried it in the tomb of Raithwall along with his remains. It was this time that the Galtean alliance was formed, with the 3 kingdoms connected by the shards of the Deifacted Nethicite. That peace was achieved when the role of the Dynast king was fulfilled, as the Ocuria were able to prevent Ivalice from falling into a state of war. In the next 400 years, the descendants of Raithwall ruled Ivalice in peace. However, in the time of this alliance, other nations started to grow and flourish, the 2 most notable ones being Arcadia and Rosaria, the 2 kingdoms that are in conflict by the events of Final Fantasy XII. The legacy of King Raithwall endured even after in death, as many of the events of the game were influenced by his actions, with the pursuit of the Deifacted Nethicite by Dr. Cid and his research of creation manufactured Nethicite to use in Arcadia's technology, as well as the rise of the Arcadian Empire through the ambitions of a young and cunning Vayne Celador, leading to the quest of Ashe, a direct descendant of Raithwall, to stop its rise to power by seeking the artifacts of Raithwall, to eventually being appointed as the Dynast king by the Ocuria for the same purpose, although she refused to accept this title and instead achieved her goals using her own means. Not much is detailed about King Raithwall in terms of his reign and personal life, but we are well aware of the impact he left behind in Ivalice in the years after his passing, which makes him a very important historical figure in the timeline of Ivalice. Granted, his significance is tied to that of the Ocuria and their selection of him. For more info on the Ocuria, check out the video on the screen, and other than that, I will see you all in the next lore video.